Good morning. Today I'm going to process this image in black and white. I'm going to use Adobe Camera Raw and Nik filters. So I'm going to open this up. This is the one I want. I'm going to open it up. That was my breakfast. Okay. So I worked on this a little bit, probably like 5 times. My video would just not work. So I'm going to go back to the Camera Raw defaults. This is what it looks like. Enable profile to get rid of distortion. But I was shooting at 85 millimeters with the 85 millimeters. So it's not going to be a ton of distortion anyway. But what I'm going to do first is bring that down a little bit, bring up the contrast arbitrarily, and the clarity just arbitrarily. Bring up the shadows, and I have cropped it already. So you see, I cropped all that out. I want my tree to be on the third. I love the sky. There's a lot of detail there. We're going to bring it out. So there's that. Let's go in here. Actually, we're going to go here to graduated filter. We're going to bring it down. All the way down. Up the contrast. We're going to up the, and I'm working on 6. When I'm at work, I have CC, and CC has dehaze now, which is really, really good, but I don't have it. So we're going to bump up the clarity, and we're going to go ahead and open it up. So just, if you have elements, if you have Lightroom, I'm going to make a Lightroom video when I go back to work. It works the same as Adobe Camera Raw. It's the same engine. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and open up Nik Silver Efex Pro 2. We're going to convert to black and white. But that's not all we're going to do today. We're going to bring out a lot of this detail. So I shoot raw. When you shoot raw, even when you shoot JPEG, but just shoot raw. It's just better. You can still bring out a ton of detail that you didn't know was there. So I'll show you a little bit of it. So there's that. You can see kind of where I'm going to go. And bring the shadows down. Still want a little bit of white in the image. Up the contrast. Up the blacks. Let's move this just in this direction. It gets a weird kind of halo. Normally, I start with the film type, and I know that I want this one with this one. Let's go with this one. Bring down the blues, bring down the cyans. No grain today. Let's come back up here, add a tiny bit of structure. You don't want to go crazy with structure. It gets a little bit weird. Let's bring up actually. There we go. What I might do is go back and lighten that tree up just a bit. There's a few different ways we can do that. Let's use the red filter. And let's see if so we can bring that up a little bit. Seeing what color the Photoshop thinks this tree is. Alright, let's just add a vignette. I like a circle. Doesn't need to be weird. Doesn't need to be too dark because we're probably going to add another additional vignette. So here's where we're going to start. And I like that. So you're going to hit OK. And this is just the start because there's still more detail in the behind the tree, and I'm going to bring that out. I'll show you how to do that. So, not bad. And my Silver Efex is corrupt, so you're just gonna, you just have to crop it out. Or you could clone it out if it happens. I don't know why. I've emailed them and they never email me back, so I was like, whatever. There's always a way around it. So it's going to process the whole thing again because I cropped after. And I have cloned out because, you know, sometimes you don't want to crop. You just have to clone it. Don't save it, do it again. But today we're going to just crop it out. Come on. Okay, now we're all set. So, what I'm going to do now, so you can see there, it's pretty cool. I'm going to go to your channel. So if you do not have Photoshop, if you only have Elements, you don't have this. But if you do have Photoshop, you're going to open this up, and you're going to just command click on the RGB. And what that does is selects for you all the highlights in the image. Just all the highlights in the image. You don't have to do anything. This is a really good selection. It's perfectly feathered. It's beautiful. And what I'm going to do is just pull up a levels adjustment layer. And I'm going to just bring that down. You see all that detail. Add a little bit contrast there. Now, what it is doing is flattening out my image. Now, I do have a problem. I always like a really dark image, so I have to work on that. But I like this. I want the detail there. So now, when you have your mask, you're going to get a big brush, and if you hit the Option Control and on the brush and pull your mouse or your tablet pen to the left or right, it's going to go bigger or smaller, up and down. You can see that it gets softer or harder. And I'm going to be on a black 100%, and I'm just going to take that back out where it's selected in the clouds. I don't want it there. Make your brush a little smaller, and I don't want it here. Another trick, if you ever want to look at your mask, hit the option into the mask and you can see exactly what you've masked out. So I'm going to just clean that up there, and I'm good to go. And so now you see that it's darkened all the rest of that down. It's nice. So I'm going to add another levels on top of that. And we're going to actually just brighten this image back up just a hair. But I still have that detail now in the middle. So we're going to group these two together so you can see what it was and what it is. I like it. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to add a blank layer. I'm going to take some of this out here. I don't want it. I'm not going to rip it out of the ground. You know, I'm going to walk over there. And just going to, what you're going to do is take a, we have lines here, so you just follow the line, follow it up. Follow this one, follow it down. This looks bad. We're going to fix it. Follow your line up. Just like this. Connect them. Now take a bigger brush and maybe on a 60%, go up, come from this side, smaller brush, and go up. And that way you just kind of blend it back together, no one will be the wiser. And in here, 100%, let's just clean this up. I mean, just, you know, clean up your images. And just, that's why you shoot digital. Actually, I'll tell a story. I clean up my film images too. Because why not? That's what Photoshop is for. If you take it, you do whatever you want to with it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Clean this up. And these got to go. You can see, you know, the bigger the area, the less precise you have to be. You just want to make sure you follow, and I'll show you, you can see the line there. You really follow the light. You come over here, pick up a bigger brush, select it there. Right here. Okay, now you just blend that back in. And there you go. Little things. But if you print this 24 by 36, those little sprigs, that would drive me crazy. Looking good? Now let's add another blank layer. We're gonna fill this with 50% gray, soft light. Here, make my brush really big. We're gonna go O for dodge and burn. I'm at 7%. I'm gonna be lazy and I'm gonna go to 30%. And we're just gonna, in, you know, no particular order. So if you ever were in the like a wet lab or real dark room, you would make this little thing. Kind of looks like actually this, and you would just go in and whatever you want to darken down, you would just like this. It just kind of simulates, and you can see I'm pulling in more detail there. And what I'm just doing is pushing your eye to the tree, which is the subject, obviously, right? And then the next thing I want you to look at is the detail in the clouds. So you can see that to that, that to that. If you go a little far, you can just, you know, make your opacity smaller, but I like it. I like dark images. What you can do is go in. Oh, so without changing your key you don't have to come over here and select burn. You don't have to come over here and select dodge. You just hold the option key down. So now you can see that I'm actually dodging the tree. Before I was burning in the edges. And you just hold down the option key and it does the opposite for you. Let me just lighten these up just a tiny bit. You can lighten up that. And yes, I did darken all this down. But light and dark give you depth in the image. It gives you like three-dimensional kind of. It's good. Let's just say that. So I have to practice with that too, instead of just making everything black like I would normally do. Stop it. All right. I do have to practice with noticing where there could be light areas and dark areas. Here's a trick. If you don't like something, you can actually add a mask to that layer. Let's do 50% black brush. Bring this down a little bit here. I don't want you looking over there. You see where I'm coloring there. Get rid of that. But you can actually change the whole tone of an image by dodge and burn. It's usually one of the last things I do. Now, on top of this, let's do a curve this time. And we're going to do an overall inverted S. Just a little bit. That's not even like an S, but whatever. Just to go back and lighten it up just a tiny bit. Yikes. I think I'm about to crash. Give a little bit more contrast there. So you still have the detail. The tiniest bit brighter. I think that's going to do it. All right, thanks.